From the golden hall of Meduseld, a shadow fell over the Riddermark. It wasn't the shadow of Mordor, not yet, but a creeping poison that emanated from Isengard, whispering deceit into the ear of a king. This is the story of Théoden, son of Thengel, 17th king of Rohan, and his journey from darkness back into the light. When we first meet Théoden, he is a ghost on his own throne. His mind is clouded, his will sapped by the insidious counsel of Grima Wormtongue, a servant of the fallen wizard Saruman. The once proud king of the Horse Lords is reduced to a withered old man, blind to the dangers besieging his people. Orcs and Uruk-hai raid his lands. His son Theodred lies mortally wounded, and his people are scattered and afraid. Yet Théoden sits, unresponsive, his eyes vacant, his authority a mere puppet string pulled by Grima. He rebukes his loyal marshal, Éomer, banishing the very man who seeks to defend the realm. This is Théoden at his lowest, a king who has forgotten his crown, a father who cannot mourn his son, a leader who has abandoned his people. It's a tragic sight, a symbol of how even the strongest will can be eroded by persistent, venomous lies. But hope arrives, not on horseback, but on foot. Gandalf the White, reborn and more powerful than before, strides into the darkened hall of Meduseld. With him are Aragorn, Legolas, and Gimli. The confrontation is immediate and powerful. Grima hisses his poison, but Gandalf's light is stronger. He breaks Saruman's hold, shattering the spell that has bound Théoden for so long. The transformation is miraculous. The fog lifts from the king's mind. He straightens his back, his eyes regain their fire, and the years of despair seem to fall away. "The staff in your hand has more power than you know," Gandalf tells him. But the true power unleashed is Théoden's own spirit, finally set free. He sees Grima for the snake he is and casts him out. He reclaims his sword, Herugrim, and with it, his kingship. The king is reborn. This renewed Théoden is a man of action. Faced with the news of Saruman's 10,000-strong army marching on Rohan, he must make a choice. While some counsel caution, Théoden decides to lead his people not into hiding, but to the ancient fortress of Helm's Deep. It's a desperate gamble, a fortress of stone against a tide of fury. The ride to Helm's Deep is a prelude to the storm, a gathering of the last free folk of the Riddermark. The Battle of the Hornburg at Helm's Deep is a night of terror and legend. The defenders are vastly outnumbered. Men and even boys stand on the walls, their courage a flickering candle against a hurricane. Théoden himself is filled with a grim resolve, but also a flicker of doubt. What can men do against such reckless hate? He asks Aragorn. But as the battle rages, his spirit hardens. He fights alongside his men, a king sharing the peril of his humblest soldier. When the gate is breached and the cause seems lost, it is Théoden who, inspired by Aragorn, makes a final, defiant charge. "Forth, Eolingas!" he cries, leading a desperate ride into the heart of the Uruk-hai host as the dawn breaks. This is no longer the broken man from Meduseld. This is a true king of the Rohirrim, choosing a valiant death over a slow defeat. But death does not claim him that day. Gandalf and Éomer arrive with the riders of Rohan, turning the tide and securing a victory against impossible odds. With Rohan saved from Saruman, a new, greater threat looms. The beacons of Gondor are lit, a desperate plea for aid as Minas Tirith faces the full might of Mordor. The old alliance between Rohan and Gondor is tested. Théoden gathers his army at Dunharrow, the muster of Rohan. It is a breathtaking sight, 6,000 spears ready to answer the call. Yet the king is somber. He knows the odds. He is riding to a battle he may not survive, against an enemy whose numbers are beyond counting. So it is, before the walls of Minas Tirith, the doom of our time will be decided, he says, a quiet acceptance in his voice. This isn't the rash charge of a desperate man, but the calculated sacrifice of a wise king. The ride of the Rohirrim to the Pelennor fields is one of the most epic moments in fantasy. As the sun rises, Théoden and his army arrive to find Minas Tirith besieged, the city on the verge of falling. The sight could have broken lesser men, but it only fuels Théoden's resolve. He gives a speech that echoes through the ages, a call to his men to fight not for glory or victory, but for their world. for everything they hold dear. Arise, arise, riders of Théoden! Spears shall be shaken, shields shall be splintered, a sword day, a red day, ere the sun rises. Ride now, ride now, ride, ride for ruin and the world's ending, death. With a blast of the great horn of Rohan, he leads the charge. The wave of 6,000 riders crashes into the armies of Mordor, a tide of courage against a sea of darkness. Théoden is at the forefront, his white hair and golden armor a beacon of hope. He cuts down the chieftain of the Haradrim, his personal banner falling before the might of the Rohan king. For a glorious moment, it seems the tide has turned. The Rohirrim are routing the enemy. But then, a shadow falls from the sky. The Witch King of Angmar, Lord of the Nazgul, descends upon his fell beast. Théoden's horse, Snowmane, panics and falls, crushing the king beneath it. As Théoden lies dying, his body broken, but his spirit unyielding, he faces the ultimate despair. The Witch King, the ancient terror who no living man can kill, looms over him, ready to deliver the final blow. This is the culmination of Théoden's journey. He has led his people from the brink of destruction, found his courage, and charged headfirst into the apocalypse. Now, in his final moments, he is saved by the unlikeliest of heroes, his own niece, Éowyn, who had ridden to war in disguise. She, along with the hobbit Merry, fulfills the prophecy and destroys the Witch King. Théoden lives just long enough to see this victory, to know that his sacrifice was not in vain. He passes his crown to Éomer, his duty done. His last words are not of regret, but of peace. I go to my fathers, and even in their mighty company, I shall not now be ashamed. Théoden's story is one of redemption. He shows us that it's never too late to reclaim your honor, to stand up against darkness, no matter how overwhelming. From a withered king trapped in his own mind, he rose to become the savior of his people, and a legend whose name would be sung for generations. He fell, but he rose again, and in his final glorious charge, he reminded everyone what it means to be a king. A sword day, a red day. Fourth Eolingus. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this journey into the heart of Rohan, please hit that like button, subscribe for more tales from Middle-earth, and let me know in the comments which character's story you'd like to see next. Until then, may your paths be safe and your courage never fail.